The sun rises over the vast desert. It paints the sand in shades of gold and red. Wind moves across the dunes, lifting grains. The wind whispers, secrets of a time long past. Somewhere beneath this sea of sand, a king once ruled. He was a pharaoh, a ruler of this ancient land. His kingdom was small. His reign was brief. Over centuries, the world simply forgot him. He became a ghost, a story told by the shifting sands. But stories return. They come back changed. They come back darker. People began to speak of a curse. They said the forgotten king's tomb held not treasure but terrible luck. Anyone who disturbed his final rest would face a dreadful fate. These chilling tales were told around crackling fires at night. With each telling, the stories grew more frightening. The pharaoh became a legend, a symbol of ancient anger. His real name faded like a footprint in the wind. We call him the Forgotten Pharaoh. So, who was this forgotten pharaoh in reality? Why was he lost to the pages of history for so long? He may have ruled during a time of great instability. Egypt was not always a single, powerful empire. There were periods when the kingdom was divided. Lesser kings ruled smaller territories. This pharaoh was likely one of them. He commanded a small army and collected taxes from only a few towns. His power was real, but limited to his small corner of the world. His life blended sacred duty and simple reality. He feared poor harvests and rival kings. His daily life was not constant luxury. It was a struggle to maintain order and survive. His reign may have ended by sickness, or a battle he could not win. There is another powerful reason he disappeared. In ancient Egypt, memory was power. New dynasties erased rivals from monuments and king lists, a damnatio memoriae. The story of the curse, as we know it, is a modern creation. Explorers, led by a determined but aging adventurer, broke the seal on a modest tomb. The air was stale, the discovery unspectacular. No golden masks, no jewel-encrusted chariots. But the press wanted a sensational story. When the expedition's wealthy financier fell ill, his fever became the seed of a legend. Reporters speculated, poison? An ancient germ? A curse? Headlines screamed as the story spread worldwide. Now every mishap was blamed on the pharaoh's anger. In an age of rapid change, a mystical tale was a thrilling escape. Books, radio, and movies amplified the myth. A protective prayer was twisted into a threat of vengeance. Symbols of the afterlife were recast as demonic guardians. The newsroom, not the tomb, created the fog. If there was no supernatural curse, what really happened to those explorers? Scientists examined events with calm, logical eyes. Desert digs were brutal. Extreme heat, scarce clean water, poor hygiene. Cramped camps spread disease. Many were older or unwell. A sealed tomb harbors bacteria, mold, and ancient dust. Disturbed spores like aspergillus can trigger infections, especially in the frail. The financier's death, infection leading to pneumonia, common and often fatal then. Others likely suffered dysentery and heat stroke. Psychology mattered. Anxiety primed by a curse can make symptoms worse. The nocebo effect. Every ailment and coincidence became an omen. The pharaoh's revenge was a cloud of microbes and a storm of fear, not magic. The curse became a self-fulfilling prophecy. His oblivion was a deliberate political act. New dynasties sought legitimacy by erasing predecessors. Names were chiseled away, faces defaced, king lists rewritten. Destroying the name threatened survival in the afterlife. A condemned king's burial had to be secret and humble. His followers likely interred him in haste with simple goods. The tomb was not designed to be found. Simplicity was protection. For millennia, the king rested unknown. A bare tomb left a blank slate for modern mythmakers. Erased identity invited a terrifying new persona. Silence of history let the voice of myth take over. A king without monuments became a legend with headlines. Decades later, archaeologists returned with new tools and a different mindset. They sought facts, using careful scientific methods. They analyzed pottery, dated samples, and studied pigments. Patient methods revealed a real person. In a dusty corner, they found a fragment of a wooden box, a thin ink line, a name within a simple cartouche. Nearby, notes from tomb builders, tallies of bread and beer. The so-called curse was a protective prayer, a plea for peace and sustenance. Artifacts spoke of modest means and human warmth. A simple chair, an earthen bowl, everyday things. He prayed for family, hunted the marsh, feared the cold night. His world was both royal and ordinary, filled with small joys and real fears. Rediscovering his identity turns a monster back into a man. Careful evidence gave him back his life. A faint ink line unlocked him from myth. His prayer wished for a tranquil eternity, not revenge. He ate bread and drank beer. He sat on a modest chair, rested on a clay headrest, wore a simple ring. He lived by the Nile's rhythms, anxious for the flood. Not a god king, a human leader in a hard world. Myths do not just hide truth, they reshape it. They change meaning and transform lives and things. This story asks us to separate the person from the persona. The curse reflects our fears, the man reflects a real life. Why did the curse story grow so powerful, overshadowing quiet truth? We are creatures of narrative, drawn to drama, mystery, emotion. A vengeful spirit thrills more than pottery or dust analysis. Sensationalism sold papers. Modern culture loves the supernatural. Movies, books, shows, haunted houses. Hollywood primes us to expect curses. Yet the legend kept memory alive, drawing attention back to the site. It inspired new archaeologists to seek the real story. Let mystery be the doorway that invites us in. But evidence must be the room we find inside. From myth to fact, that is the true adventure. A good story can hold both mystery and truth. In the end, the forgotten pharaoh exists as two beings, the myth and the man. The curse was coincidence, media, and imagination. The man rests in sand, stone, and faded paint. Science reads his true story. A prayer preserves his hopes. We must tell his story fairly. Keep the legend's lessons, but let facts have the final say. Mystery can invite us. Evidence must guide us. Start with the thrill, end with the man. History needs imagination and care. In scholarly light, he speaks again, quietly and truly. He is no longer a curse. This is his true tale, simple and human. Listen carefully, learn patiently. The king is no longer forgotten, he is understood.